Hey guys, welcome to another Kogen Sunday Service. Thanks so much for staying connected and for clicking on these videos. We want to thank Kogen Self-Defense Academy for all the work that they do in keeping the academy open and for us being able to have this platform to share with you. I want to thank Rob, Matt, and Bowie for all that you guys do. Thank you so much. You know, as we talk about spiritual defense each week, it's important to talk about the three things that make up spiritual defense. First is to defend ourselves against worry, against apathy, against anxiety. It's to disarm the powers of darkness and the lies that they tell, and it's to defeat those powers and walk in freedom and victory. Today, I want to talk to you about the struggle. Anyone who's been involved in combat sports knows that the struggle is real. To learn, to gain a proper perspective, to get balance, to get leverage, whatever it might be, it is always a struggle. I remember watching an interview with one of the Meow brothers, and he said, it doesn't matter whether it's a white belt or a black belt, it's always a fight. That has always resonated with me because when we think about training, when we think about practice, when we think about acquiring a new skill, a new movement, or a new level, it is always a struggle. But in that struggle, patience, perseverance, and perspective are formed. In that struggle, we find that struggle refines us. It forces us to focus on what's most important and to build from there. It's also important to recognize that in that struggle, sometimes we recognize that there are things that we are carrying, things or habits that we are doing, movements that seem to be extra or are not working, and so we look to get rid of them. As we talk about this in terms of spirituality, it occurs to me that struggle is real too. In the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, it says, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and the forces of this dark world. It reminds me each day that the person that I'm dealing with, that the situation that I'm dealing with has in its essence, has in its foundation, a spiritual source. And so as we enter into this struggle, whether it's a struggle of faith, whether it's a struggle of obedience, or whether it's simply a struggle of being disciplined, we have to realize that struggle is real. And we have to embrace that struggle and treat it like that. I think far too often we champion comfort and convenience over struggle, and instead of seeking to get through the struggle, we just try to get rid of it. But in that struggle, we grow stronger. In that struggle, we grow focused. And in that struggle, we recognize the source and we go back to the foundation. We regain our focus of what's important and why we're doing what we're doing, and we get after it. So I want to just encourage you today in this spiritual struggle. Maybe you're seeking, maybe you're growing, maybe you're learning, maybe you're in none of those categories and you're just watching life go by. I invite you. Enter the struggle. It's worth it. When you get to the other side, you will recognize that struggle was what brought you to the place of wisdom, that brought you to the place of enlightenment, that brought you to the place of perspective that you have now. Without the struggle, none of this is possible. And so I want to encourage you in that as you seek to attain a higher spiritual awareness. We find that in the Bible. We find that in the truth that is shared in His Word. And if you guys have questions about that, I would love to talk to you about that. If you have something that you need, please email me or let me know. My email is below and my Facebook is below. I want to thank you again so much for joining us here for Spiritual Defense. My name is Christian. I look forward to seeing you next week in the academy, on the mats, or next week on this video. Have a great week. God bless you guys. See you soon.